It was a quiet Saturday morning in the manicured lawns of Willow Creek, a suburban enclave where picket fences and polite nods hid secrets darker than anyone dared admit. I was on a classified call, the kind that decides the fate of families I'll never meet, when I heard my son scream a sound that didn't just break the silence but shattered my world. By the time I reached the backyard, Margaret Hensley, our HOA president, had zip-tied my autistic son, Ethan, and was dragging him across the concrete toward her garage. I didn't hesitate. I tore through the yard, tackled her, and snapped her arm like kindling. But what chilled me wasn't her cruelty, it was her plan. She'd been watching us for weeks, timing our every move, and she wasn't alone. Her hard drive revealed files on 17 federal families, their children targeted in a scheme so sinister the FBI called it domestic terrorism disguised as neighborhood rules. I'm Robert Hensley, a federal prosecutor who spent decades chasing predators, kidnappers, traffickers, the kind who hide in plain sight. In Willow Creek, I was just the quiet guy with the soundproofed office, the one who waved at neighbors while keeping my work behind closed blinds. They didn't know my mornings were spent coordinating witness relocations or tracking interstate threats. They didn't need to. My son, Ethan, 12 and autistic, was my world. His spins under the backyard maple, his soft chants when the world overwhelmed him, these weren't quirks to me but sparks of his brilliance. To Margaret, they were a violation. Margaret arrived like a storm in pearls, her moving van barely unpacked before she seized control of the HOA. Her voice carried the weight of someone used to being obeyed, her smiles as calculated as her covenants. Within days, she knew everyone's routines, but ours obsessed her. Maybe it was Ethan's hand flapping or the way he rocked on his sensory swing. She'd linger by our fence, phone angled, recording his every move. Disruptive, she called it, her eyes cold as she cited HOA noise codes. I stayed silent, my prosecutor's instincts warning me to wait, to watch. I'd seen cases collapse from hasty moves. But silence, I learned, can be a trap. The first clash came on a Thursday, Ethan swaying gently on his swing, humming to himself. Margaret marched in, heels clicking, clutching a clipboard like a weapon. "Your son's vocalizations violate Section 4.2, she declared, waving a rulebook. "It's 2:30 p.m., I snapped. "He's playing in our yard." She didn't flinch. "Order matters, Mr. Hensley. His behavior disrupts the community." I stepped closer, voice low. "He's autistic. That swing, those sounds, theory how he copes. They're not noise, they're survival." Her lips curled, mocking. "Special needs don't excuse special treatment." I saw her phone recording Ethan, her gaze predatory. "Put it down," I growled. She smirked. "Documentation protects us all." I slammed the gate shut, warning her of a restraining order. She walked away, but not before muttering, "Families like yours think rules don't apply." That night, Ethan's words froze me. "Dad, the gray car was there again, across the street. It leaves after your morning calls." My skin prickled. Margaret wasn't just nosy, she was stalking us. I started watching her, noting the gray sedan idling at 6:45 a.m., rolling away the moment my encrypted calls ended. This wasn't HOA overreach. This was surveillance. By Friday, she escalated, spreading photos of Ethan's swing across my kitchen table. "This violates Covenant 5.6, she said. "Remove it, or I'll call Child Protective Services." I slammed the table. "You trespass to take these?" She smiled, unfazed. "It's not your property if it endangers us." I leaned in, voice ice. "Come near my son again, and I'll bury you in lawsuits." She left, amused, but her words, "the government doesn't scare me," echoed like a threat. Saturday dawned with Ethan buzzing for our movie marathon, his joy in routine my anchor. "One call, buddy," I said, kissing his head. Then pancakes. At 7:15 a.m., my secure phone buzzed a DOJ emergency. I locked myself in my office, unaware Margaret was waiting. Next door, landscapers roared to life, their noise a sensory assault for Ethan. He rocked, clutching his ears, muttering, "Too loud, too loud." Security footage later showed Margaret turning off her cameras, pocketing zip ties, and striding toward our yard. She called out, "Ethan, your noises disturb everyone." He rocked harder, overwhelmed. Then she lunged, zip-tying his wrists, his screams piercing the air. "Someone needs to teach you the real world," she hissed, dragging him across the concrete. Inside, Ethan's cry, "Dad, help," cut through my soundproof walls. I tore out, heart pounding, and saw her, smiling as she pulled my son like prey. I vaulted the fence, slammed into her, and ripped Ethan free, tearing at the zip ties with bloodied hands. "You're safe," I whispered, rage boiling. Margaret tried to crawl away. I hurled her HOA sign, cracking the pavement. "Don't move." She froze, spitting. "Your child's out of control." I grabbed her collar, yanking her up. "You zip-tied a disabled kid and call him the threat." I flashed my badge. "Robert Hensley, U.S. Attorney's Office. You just committed felony kidnapping." Her face paled. Sirens wailed Mrs. Larson, our neighbor, had filmed it all, shouting, "She attacked him." FBI agents cuffed Margaret, charging her with kidnapping and assault. She muttered, "This isn't how it was supposed to go." At the station, Agent Laura Kim's words chilled me. This was premeditated. She timed your call, used professional restraints. Margaret's facade cracked, her rants about untouchable federal families and freak kids revealing a deeper hatred. A search of her home uncovered a community standards folder 17 federal families, their disabled children profiled with schedules, photos, and behavioral notes. She was part of an extremist network, targeting us as soft targets to break federal resolve. Ethan didn't speak for 2 days, curled in his room, headphones on, eyes dim. I sat by his bed, whispering about planes and pancakes, guilt gnawing at me. On the third morning, he said, "Dad, did they arrest her?" I nodded. "FBI has her." His eyes sharpened. "I want to tell my story. She thought I was weak, but I saw her car, her patterns." My chest tightened. "You don't have to do this alone," I said. He smiled faintly. "I want to help the other kids." In the hospital, Ethan's bandaged wrist told a story of survival. Dr. Emily Carter warned of psychological retreat, but Ethan's resolve grew. "I'm not broken," he said. "I want the judge to hear me." His testimony, clear and fierce, exposed Margaret's cruelty and ignited a federal case. The network unraveled contacts in Utah and Nevada faced charges, their HOA schemes exposed as fronts for hate. Margaret's trial was swift. Ethan's words, Mrs. Larson's video, and her own files buried her. She got 15 years for kidnapping, hate crimes, and civil rights violations. The judge praised Ethan's courage, calling him a hero. Back home, Ethan spun under the maple again, his hum softer but unbroken. I watched, no longer silent, knowing we'd woken a system that would hunt every last conspirator. This wasn't just our fight. It's a warning. Cruelty hides behind clipboards, and silence isn't safety. Ethan didn't need fixing needed a world that sees his strength. So do countless others. We fought with truth, law, and a father's rage, and we won. But the war against hate disguised as order rages on. What do you think? Was my reaction breaking Margaret's armed justice or vengeance? Should violence ever answer injustice? Share your thoughts in the comments. Stand up, speak out, and let's keep this fight alive.